I don't even want to call them fact checkers. They're censors pretending to be fact checkers. And that's why it's so important that you took them on. And isn't that funny? You have all these mighty media companies in Australia and around the world, but it was a citizen journalist. Avi, you're an army of one, and you had a great victory, but of course it wasn't possible without our donors.
Kia ora from the beautiful New Zealand. Here in Auckland, finally free, and I know you're all looking at my lovely t-shirt, the one that I entered the country in with, and yes, due to popular demand, you can now get your own one to wear loudly and proudly at rebelstore.com.au, but I'm not here actually to talk about the lovely shirt I'm wearing. I'm here with the rebel boss who... Kia ora. I love that. I love that word. I love it.
Well, it's great, and I'm thrilled that you were able to come into New Zealand. I was going to say North Korea by accident, because in some ways, New Zealand, under Jacinda Ardern, they wanted to make it a hermit kingdom where ideas and debates were banned if they didn't accord with exactly what Jacinda Ardern said. So you being here isn't just a personal victory, it's sort of a statement that New Zealand is open for debates, is open to other points of view, and that maybe New Zealanders themselves have a variety of views. And you know, that's the Rebels' motto, telling the other side of the story. So I'm really glad you're here, and I'm thrilled to be here. I've never been to New Zealand before. It's great.
Yeah, it's, North Korea's not a bad place, but look, what I'm really... When I touched down, we had another victory at the same time, and that's why we're really doing this video, because when we touched down, I saw that what essentially was revealed through our case against the fact checkers in Australia, that confidential agreement finally went viral and is getting the attention it deserves. So I guess it's almost part of the same broader issue of censorship and shutting down free speech. What's your reaction to now seeing that our supporters essentially ended up, this is potentially the beginning of the end of RMIT and those fact checkers and their control that they've held till now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to say that they're the fact checkers, because we're all fact checkers. You fact check governments all the time. We do access to information documents. We scrum politicians and ask them questions. You are a walking fact checker. And by the way, your viewers are your fact checkers. We're all fact checkers because we can all think for ourselves. But these official fact checkers pretend to be above the fray. They pretend to be some magical priests that have the only access to the truth with a capital T. But they're just like you and me. They're people with their own opinions, but they don't want to debate you and me, so they want to censor you and me. And what's so gross is that Facebook has had a contract with them, and it was a secret contract. Imagine that. You're in the business of transparency and communications and free speech, but you have a secret contract with, they call themselves fact checkers, but they're really censors for the regime. And it was only because you took a stand against the unethical fact checkers that Facebook hired from RMIT that we were able to smoke out that agreement and make them release it to the public. And good for Rukshan Fernando for finding that in the court and publishing it. And now, holy moly, has that taken on a life of itself. I see Sky News Australia has just gone running with it. I hope you're right. I hope it marks the beginning of the end for these secretive, this club of people who think they know better than you and me, but will never debate you and me, but want to censor you and me. So good on you, and good on the viewers who chipped in to get that lawsuit against RMIT fact checkers going, because that's the only way that secret contract was revealed.
Absolutely. We get into a lot of fights because we stand up for, what's right. And in this case, what was right was, besides for our story being right, the broader issue of, hold on, who makes you the arbiter of what is true? Who makes you the gatekeeper of the facts? And now we're seeing through this, through the generosity of our supporters who cared enough about this fight, about the truth, about the fact that they shouldn't be the ones to control the narrative because they realize how dangerous that is. Now, finally, people are waking up and the system's waking up and the broader public is waking up. And even Elon Musk is tweeting out this confidential agreement, and they worked so hard to keep it confidential, but it was only through the lawsuit and through Rukshan going in there, and because he was also fact check on that same story, going in there and pulling out those documents while it was available to the media. Guess what? No other media ran it until Rukshan Fernando pulled it out from our lawsuit. So I take this as a win, not just for us, but for every single person that chipped in to help us with that legal battle. I know that the headlines like to paint it at the end that we withdrew and we walked away with nothing. I take this as one of the biggest wins that I've personally had in the court, thanks to your help. And on that note, I look forward to seeing those of you that are still in this country that are sane enough to see what's going on in New Zealand, you Kiwis. I'm excited to meet you in Auckland tomorrow night, August 25th, or Wellington on the 26th, and then you're coming to Australia as well, Ezra. Thanks so much for being here, and thank you guys. If you're as excited as I am that the lawsuit that we brought together to hold the fact checkers to account is having the kind of waves that I couldn't even predict myself, make sure to like, comment, but most importantly, share it far and wide, because the last thing Facebook and their fact checkers, RMIT, want is for the world to know their confidential agreement. So it's up to you guys at home. And for the rest of you, especially those of you here in Kiwi land, if you love the t-shirt I rocked up into the country with, you can now, due to popular demand, get your own one. Wear it loudly and proudly at rebelstore.com.au. We even ship here to North Korea.